If you are ready to up-level your health or life coaching business, then stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing a bunch of tips and very actionable things that you can implement in your business so you can reach the next level in 2024. Let's dive in. Hi there, welcome to the Wholehearted Business Show. I'm Laura. I help heart-centered health and life coaches get more clients, grow their businesses and live their best life while they do it. And Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy to be back, and this is a really good one because we're going to be talking all about what it means to up-level your business. Now, I've got some thoughts and things to say on what we actually mean by up-leveling, but if you're starting this new year with some goals and plans in place, perhaps you've done the planning episode of the show that I shared back in 2023 in December, perhaps you've done that, you've got some new goals that you want to hit, and you feel like you and your business are just ready to step into that next level of success, whatever that might look like for you. If that is the case, then this is absolutely going to be a fantastic episode of the show for you. So before we dive into the actual tips, and for each tip, I'm going to give you a specific action that you can take. So this is really practical and something that you can actually go away and implement. I wanted to talk a little bit about what up-leveling actually is, because I think it's one of those words that, people throw around and it sounds really cool, but without any kind of real understanding or context of what it means. So I wanted just to define what are we talking about when we're talking about up-leveling our health or life coaching business. So for me, I think what tends to happen for a lot of people in business is that we run our businesses, we do stuff, we try things out, and we kind of reach a point where I want to say get stuck. And I think if you are attracted to the term upper level, you probably currently feel a little bit stuck where you are. But basically we get to a point where we're kind of just not growing anymore, or things aren't changing, or we're getting the same results. And actually what we need to be able to step up and into the next version of success that we're going for, the next level, is we do need to do things that are actually going to up level our businesses. So when I'm sharing these tips, what I'm really thinking about is, okay, how can we, what can we do in our businesses to help us if we have been stuck, if we've been in the same kind of place for a little while, and we're ready actually to take it to the next place that we want to get to. And obviously what that specifically looks like for you is going to vary. It might be that you are stuck at a certain income level. It might be that you are only getting a few clients and it's very much like feast and famine, and you're in kind of the same cycles and patterns. This is all about how do we break out of where it is that we currently are so that we can get to the next place. Now, what this doesn't mean is it doesn't mean that we are going after specific outcomes that are not actually aligned with us. And I talked a bit about this when I talked about planning in the last couple of episodes of the show, because we can all want to have a 6 or 7 figure business, but if that's not actually aligned for us and it doesn't make sense, then we're just going after a goal that it looks good on paper but doesn't actually feel good. And I'm all about building businesses that actually feel really, really good for us. And what I tend to find with a lot of the people that I work with and a lot of people who are attracted to the work that I do is that actually what we are all wanting to build is what I've started to kind of call is a really cozy business. I can remember one of my clients, Alex, she said she was really attracted to work with me because she said everything just felt so cozy. Everything just feels like warm and down to earth and cozy. And I'm like, I'm going to own that. I'm going to own that in 2024, the cozy business. And I think that's what most of us are aiming for. We're not necessarily going after 6 or 7 figures. What we are going for is a really sustainable, healthy income, a great number of clients, doing work that we love, where we're actually making an impact in the world, but where we get to live life on our own terms. And whether that is being able to be there for dropping your kids off and picking them up from school, or whether it's a bit like me, so I can go off and swim in the sea on a random Wednesday, or go to the gym during the day, or anything else that makes you happy outside of your business. I think it's about building a business that leaves you time and space for that, and the things that are important to you in your life. And I feel like that's where most of you guys who are listening to this show are probably wanting to go to. And that doesn't mean that it's not about reaching the highest levels of success in terms of what you want. That's what it's all about. So if that is 6 or 7 figures, then that's amazing. But I think what most of us are going for is just a really healthy, sustainable income, a good number of clients. Perhaps we've got a multi-offer business, which is something I'm going to talk about more this year at different points. And we're out there living our best lives. That's what it's all about. So I feel like a lot of us are that's where we want to go to. And these tips that I'm going to share today are going to help you think about things that you can do in your health or life coaching business that are going to help you get closer to that version of success, or your particular individual version of success. that relates to that. So with those things in mind, let's dive into some of the tips. And the first one is really, really simple and really, really straightforward, but can actually be really, really tricky. And that is to do something different. Because what tends to happen is if we want to get a different outcome in any area of our lives, not just our businesses, we need to try and do something different. We can't expect to get a different outcome to what we are currently experiencing if we keep on doing the same thing. So I think it's a really great time to reflect on your business and to really look at that. So what is it that you've been doing? And hopefully if you have been through a process of reviewing and planning for your business, like the one that I shared in the last couple of episodes of the show, then you will have an idea of where you're at. And it's looking at what you've been doing so far. And it's like, okay, what needs to change? What can I do differently? What can I try that I haven't tried before? So the action for this is just to take a really holistic look at your business. Again, if you've done any kind of planning, then you will have probably had a look at what you've been doing so far and really look at everything that's going on. What would a 10% shift in terms of doing things differently look like? Because this doesn't have to mean that you completely burn your business down and start again and do everything completely differently. It can do if that feels aligned for you and it feels right. But what would just a 10% shift in terms of doing something differently look like? I think that's a really great place to start with any kind of change. It's just, what does a small amount of change look like? And if you're really, really stuck on this, there's a couple of different things you can do. So I have got some more slots for my holistic coaching business audits, which is where basically we sit down for half an hour. These are free calls. We'll look at your business, we'll look at your messaging, your website, your offers, your social media, your marketing, and I'll give you at least 3 specific things that you can go away with and change and do differently to help you get more clients. So the link to book those will be in the description, and you can get in and book those with me. They're completely free. If at the end of the call, just heads up, at the end of the call, if I feel that I can help you win one of my paid offers, I will tell you about it, but I'm not going to give you a whole sales spiel at all. That's not my style, but I will tell you if there's something that I've got paid that I think would be a good fit for you. So if you want to book those, the link is in the description and I will help you with those things. The other thing that you can do is you can check out my brand new freebie, which is the Aligned Client Attraction System. This is just a really simple freebie that you can take, which just helps you get your head around, okay, so these are the things that I can do in terms of marketing that are going to help me attract more clients. And it's almost like a pick and mix. You can kind of look at the options that we've got there and create your own system out of the suggestions that I make. So it kind of gives you a ready-made system. You just need to pick the pieces that feel the most aligned to you. So check that out. The links will be in the description and you can grab either of those or both. You're more than welcome. And then the next thing that you can look at when it comes to up-leveling your business is to review your messaging. So I think this is a really, really good one, particularly if you find that maybe there's somewhere where you haven't quite been going with your messaging. And I think what tends to happen, especially when we're brand new coaches or we're fairly new in our coaching business journey, is we kind of edit ourselves a little bit. And, again, there's lots of advice out there around how we should create our messaging and how we should niche ourselves and all of that stuff. But I think what tends to happen is there's something that you can say that you're not saying in your messaging because you're perhaps a little bit scared that you're going to put some people off if you say it, that it's going to be, that you're not going to be liked, that it's going to be too harsh or it's going to be too this or too that. And sometimes I think that is like the magic ingredient that you need to add into your messaging to make it resonate more. So for me in my business, I'm really starting to just own the fact that I'm not someone who's going to take you to 6 figures. That's not what my whole approach is about, is not based on money. Money's important, and like I say, I will talk about money until the cows come home. It's really, really important, but my whole approach to growing a business is not about making 6 figures. And for a long time I thought, well, that's going to put people off. People are really not going to like that. People will not pay me if I'm not talking about being a 6-figure coach. So really letting that go and actually being like, this is actually the way that I do business. I don't think that going after specific money goals necessarily makes a lot of sense in terms of the generally accepted successful ones. It's about going after a money goal that has meaning to you, and that can be 6 figures or it can be something completely different. So for me, when I've looked at my messaging and really just kind of owning that, 6 figures optional is kind of really been helpful. So look at your messaging. Is there somewhere that you're perhaps a little bit frightened to go, or is there something that isn't quite clear enough? And again, the action here is just to review all of the copy that you have on your website, wherever you are talking to people. Whether it's your website, whether it's your social media, it can be your email newsletters, what is it that you are saying? And is that adding up to what it is that you want to say? And to have the courage to actually just go there, and to know that you might piss some people off and some people might not resonate with you anymore, but the people who do resonate with you will resonate even more, and therefore be more likely to become clients and to become, fans of your work. So I think this is a really, really good one to get stuck into. Again, I did an episode of the show all about messaging, which I will link to in the description, so do go and check that out if you want a bit more kind of stuff to get stuck into around the whole topic of messaging in your business. But yeah, review your messaging. That can be such a good way to start to up level. And then the next tip is to build your email list /audience /community. Basically, one of the simplest ways to up level your business and to, whether that's making more money, get more clients, is to increase the number of people who you have contact with, who know about you, who know that your business exists, who knows what it is that you do to help people. That is one of the simplest ways that you can reach the next level if we're talking about an increase in income and increase in impact. And potentially as well, another side effect of that is that you've got more options for more passive forms of income because you've got the volume of numbers of people who are aware that you exist and who can buy from you. So it's a really, really simple one. In fact, there's a bit of a saying that I heard recently, which is like double your list, double your income. So there's, it's a big one. It's quite an important one. So really looking at what are you specifically doing to grow your email list? You're going to be at any one of various stages. Perhaps you don't have an email list yet and you're brand new to all this. Maybe you do have an email list, but you're not really doing much to grow it, or it's growing very, very slowly. Or you have like a healthy email list, but you want to increase it and you want to do your email marketing a bit better. So I think whichever step of the way you are there's something that you can do that will help your email list growth and help you do better with email marketing. And the good news is I am running a free training. Now, I've never done anything around email list stuff, but it came to me when I was doing my 2024 planning. So I'm going to do a free training all about email list marketing and growth. I haven't even got a fancy name for it yet. It's literally like, that's where we're at. But it's all things to do with email lists for health and life coaches. That's the training. And the idea is that at the end of the training, you will have a better understanding of like what you need to be doing around email list growth, things you can do to get more people on your email list, better email, based marketing. And also there's some really very, very significant changes coming into email deliverability in January, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm not an expert in that whatsoever. I'm just going to pass on some of the things that I've heard from other coaches and other business owners who are much more up with it, and I'll share links to their stuff if you want to get into it. But it's quite a big deal. So I think if you are looking to increase your audience, your email list, then check out that training. I'll put the link in the description. That is on Wednesday, the 17th of January. So do check that out. You can sign up. You'll get the replay if you can't make it live, or do come along. And we will sit down for, a little while and talk all things email lists. So do join me for that. Another thing that you can do to uplevel your business is to increase your prices. Now, I'm not one of these coaches who just kind of rolls that out as a general tip or a general piece of advice. I think often it's something that you want to really consider and think about how it makes sense for you. But it is a really simple thing that you can do that will help you generate more income in your business and potentially have more impact as well, depending on, how people show up and buy into what it is that you offer. So increasing your prices, again, really, really simple. You can look at all of your offers, look at what makes sense to increase. If you haven't increased your prices for a long time, they're probably due a review. I think that's a very clear action that you can take, is to review all of your prices across all of your offers, and then where it makes sense, to increase them if that makes sense for you. And again, another great thing that you can do with a price increase is to run a promotion so people can get in there before the price increases. That's a great way to drive sales on a more short-term basis. So review your prices, increase them if that makes sense, and that can be another way that you can up level. Then do the thing that you are avoiding. So this is a really profound one, I think, if you want to up level your business. Now, I think for everybody, and I'm saying everybody, I really mean myself, and probably I'm sure there's some of you guys who will relate to this. There will be things that you know that you can do to help your business grow, but you're just not doing them. You're avoiding them for whatever reason. And we're going to talk a little bit about mindset stuff soon, but there will be an area of your business that you are just not going there for whatever reason. Now, again, there might be ethical reasons, like not every business strategy is meant for you. And that's absolutely fine. But there'll be something that kind of feels like it feels aligned and it feels good, but you're still not doing it. And it's identifying what that is. I think that is such a great shift that you can make in your business, because by doing it, you're going to feel more confident. You are going to get a different result because it's something new that you haven't done before. And it just puts you into a whole new space. So really looking, the action for this is to look at yourself, because this is really about you. What is it that you are avoiding? So in my business, just to give an example, is I know that I could be doing more collaborations, I could be networking more with other people out there in online business world, and I don't do it because for various different reasons, lack of confidence, a little bit of imposter syndrome, not feeling like I belong, feeling like everywhere else is a bit of a clique. Those are the reasons. So I very clearly know the reasons. And it's time to, for me, what I'm kind of telling myself is it's time to stop with the bullshit. It's time to step up and, and stop that and push myself out of my comfort zone in this area. So that might resonate with you, but I'm sure there's an area of your business where you kind of avoid things a little bit, even though and it feels like a good thing that you want to do, but you're just still not doing it. So identifying what that is and then going out there and doing it can be another fantastic up-leveling tool. The next tip is all about looking at how you spend your time. So again, most of us have a finite amount of time that we spend in our businesses, whether that's through choice or because that's the only option that we have. And how we spend our time and the things that we do, the tasks that we focus on, can have a really profound impact on the results that we get in our business. So looking at how it is that you're spending your time, what tasks are you working on? Do you know what your kind of moving the needle in your business tasks are? Like, what are the most profound things that you should be doing week in, week out that are going to help your business grow? Like, do you know what those are, and are you spending time on those? Those things can be really, really helpful to understand, and then really look at what it is that you're actually doing in your business. Now, if you're not sure, an action to take here is to actually track your time. So there's a little app called Toggl. I'll put a link where you can, have it open in the background, and when you're working, you can click for different tasks, and it just helps you to analyze how much time you're spending on different things. And it can be really, really eye-opening. And then you can look at that information and think, well, okay, am I actually spending time doing the things that make a difference? There's a common productivity thing, which is 20% of your effort gets 80% of the results. So it's focusing on that 20% that actually gets the 80% results. And sometimes identifying what that is can be tricky, but that is your moving the needle tasks. What things are actually helping you to drive results. And sometimes, again, that is about making sure that you do have the things in place in your business to track that. So are you asking clients where they found you? Are you looking at what's driving sales, what activities you're doing that is actually driving sales and new clients? A great action would just be to track your time for a couple of weeks and then look at what it is that you're doing and really see if you can identify the 20% that you are doing that is getting 80% of the results and really focus a bit more time on there. So just look at how you're spending your time, see if you can tweak things. Another element to this might be that if you find that you're at that point in your business, perhaps you've been running for a couple of years, you might be ready to outsource. So you might simply be ready to start working with a VA if you're not already, or if you already work with a VA, it might be about actually, do they need to take on slightly different tasks to what they've been taking on so far? How can I use them better? All of that kind of thing. So yeah, look at how you're using your time. And then do more of what you enjoy. I think this is such an important one when it comes to any kind of shift that we're wanting to create in any part of our lives, because, to get a bit woo, when we are doing the things that we enjoy, when we are experiencing joy and contentment and we're in that place where things feel good, that is going to help put us in a really good place energetically, which is another thing I'm going to talk about in a second. But it helps. I just think it makes a difference to every single thing. When you are intentionally focusing on things that bring you joy, both inside and outside of your business, I think that can really help to fuel a big up level in your life and business. So much good stuff comes from that, whether it's good ideas, whether it's more intuitive pings, whether or not it is just more confidence, it leaks over into everything, and just focusing on that can be really, really helpful. Now, some people might see that this kind of contradicts a little bit of the last tip, which was about looking at how you spend your time. Now, if there's stuff in your business that you do that you really enjoy, but isn't necessarily driving a lot of the sales, I still think there's a reason why you should probably still spend some time doing that, because I feel like that joy is probably fueling a lot of passion, fueling a lot of, good vibration and good energy and good frequency in your business. And I wouldn't necessarily ditch that altogether, but you might want to look at the balance between the different tasks that you're doing in your business if that's the case. So yeah, action from this one is just to look at, what can you do in your business and outside of it, even if it's like picking, 3 key things that you do each week that just bring you joy and make your life better and make you happier, and just know that that's part of running your business as well. A really great way to justify things if you get really stuck with feeling like you can spend time doing joyful things is see it as a business growth task. So if going for a coffee on a Monday afternoon by yourself brings you a lot of joy, see that as a business growth task. That can be business growth. If you going for a swim on a Tuesday afternoon brings you joy, see that as a business task. If you buying yourself flowers, see it as a business task. Obviously, we've got to be careful because we don't want to just run ourselves into massive debt by buying all the things and calling it business tasks. But there'll be little things that you can do throughout the day that don't require any money to spend or anything like that will bring you more joy. And I think seeing that as part of your business building toolkit and your up-leveling toolkit can be a massive game changer. And of course, I couldn't not mention the whole topic of getting supported when it comes to up-leveling. So whether that is working with a coach or a mentor, whether it's joining a mastermind or a group program, whether it's enrolling in a new course, or whether it's finding, specifically going out there and finding business besties, whatever that looks like, finding some kind of support can obviously be a massive shift when it comes to up leveling. It can be a really, really positive thing. And when I think about the biggest up levels that I've had in business, they've always been when I've chosen to work with someone, whether it's been, and I mean, generally speaking, it's been when I've worked with someone one-to-one. There has been occasions when I've enrolled in group programs and things like that, but those have always triggered massive growth for me every single time, without a doubt. So looking at how you can get support, looking at your budget, looking at what it is that you want to achieve, and really seeing what you can access that is going to help you reach the next place that you want to go can just, like I say, it can be such a massive, massive thing. And another part of this isn't just necessarily about working with someone or working in a new program or buying a new course. It can also be your systems in your business as well. Another part of up leveling can just be actually, what tech do I have in my business? What am I using in my business? How is this supporting me and supporting my clients? For example, if you are running with a really shitty email system, maybe you want to upgrade and go for ConvertKit, or perhaps you want to buy Thrivecart, which is what I use for all of my payment processing and carts and stuff. Maybe you want to get a new client management system like Paperbell or Dubsado. Up leveling from that really practical tech point of view can actually be massively profound as well. So that's a great thing to think about if you want to up level. Is it about a systems thing? Is it about you learning some of these new systems? Is it about you having a better understanding of some of these things? That can all count as well. So a great action for this is just to look at your business and what is it that I need support with right now? What is going to support me with this up level? From a systems point of view, is there new systems or new tech that I need to get in place? Or do I need to work with someone or in a program or something that is going to help support me through this journey? Looking at that really seriously, because again, it doesn't have to be a major investment. It can be if you want it to be and if that's what you need right now, but there's various different ways that you can get supported and you can be lifted up to the next level through that support. And then finally, of course, we could not talk about up leveling without talking about our mindset and our energy, if you like, when it comes into this, because I think part of what happens when we up level is our energy up levels first before we see that in our businesses. And sometimes that's just about the thoughts that we are having and the way that we are thinking about our businesses and ourselves in our businesses as well. From a mindset point of view, if you are really struggling with imposter syndrome, I've said that I have really struggled with that before, confidence, you just don't feel good enough, you're comparing yourself to other people a lot, that's really not going to help you with the up leveling. So really looking at what's going on internally for you, what beliefs do you have about yourself and your business and what you can achieve, what feels good to you, what doesn't. Again, I think mindset is always something to be offset with alignment, because some people might say that I have a mindset block around 6 figures, but it's not that I won't go for 6 figures, because believe you me, I will go for 6 figures at some point, but when 6 figures makes sense for me, not because I'd want to hit 6 figures, if that makes sense. So there's a difference, and again, that's about for me, I just know that that's where I'm at and that's my alignment thing. It's not necessarily a mindset thing, but there's definitely mindset stuff that I'm working through, and there'll definitely be mindset stuff that you're working through. And I think what tends to happen is when we address some of that and when we really start to energetically shift, that happens before the up level. Sometimes things start to change externally and that actually reflects back, but often our internal energetic state is what is reflected back outside in our businesses and as things change. So really thinking about, and I think this is probably one of the most important things, is like, how is your energy and your mindset going to shift? Like, what is it that you need to do to shift that? What practices can you put in place to shift that? What things can you do? I'm going to talk a bit next week about my 2024 plans and a little bit of a catch up on 2023. And there's some things that I'm doing that is really quite specific around how I'm starting to address that for myself. But I think we need that internal up level sometimes before we see the external one. That's not to say that, if you have blocks that you can't experience success, because that's not the case, and we see that all the time, every single day, that's not the case. But I think it can be really, really helpful that you look at how you are facilitating that shift inside in your beliefs, in your mindset, in your energy, and then allowing that to kind of come out into your business. I think that's such a great way to approach it. So a really great action that you can take around the mindset / energy side of things is to really think about what this up-leveled version of your business actually looks like. Like, how is it different from what your business looks like now? Like, how is it different in terms of the clients that you're working with, the money that you're making, the products that you have available, the offers that you have available, the way that you're marketing? Like, how is it different? And what do you need to shift inside to help you go from that version of your business to the next version? Like, what actually needs to change in you? When you look at that version of your business that you want to get to, what comes to mind is 2 reasons why that can't happen, because that can be such a really big one. Just thinking, okay, so I want to get to this place, but the beliefs that are coming up my head is, right, okay, so I can't do that because, or that won't happen because I don't have this, or I don't understand how to do this, and it's those things that are really, really good to start to work through when you're thinking about that up level. So guys, I really hope that has been useful. I hope it's given you lots of things that you can go away and implement in your business to help you reach the next level in 2024. Like I said, there's a few things that I've got for you that will help. First things first, book a free holistic coaching business audit if there's any slots left, because they do go quick. Check out the link in the description. Like I say, totally free call. We'll talk through your business. I'll give you some tips that you can take away to help you get more clients and to improve your business. And like I say, if there's anything I can help with, it's a paid offer that I have. I will tell you about it, but I'm not very salesy. That's just not my style. I'm not going to ram it down your throat, put it that way. The next thing you can check out is the Aligned Client Attraction System, my freebie, which is just a really simple kind of pick and mix system that you can take and implement in your business that will help you get more clients. Check out the link in the description. And then finally, I am running a free workshop all on email list stuff. I need to think of a really good name for this. But basically, if you want to grow your email list, better understand email marketing, understand some of the big changes that are going to be happening in email list world, come along to that free training. It's all going to be geared specifically towards health and life coaches. And believe you me, I have noticed recently that I've been doing some general businessy training and courses and stuff, and a lot of the stuff that people talk about doesn't quite translate for health and life coaches. So come along, I'm going to make sure that it's very specific to you guys because this stuff is important. The link to all of those things are in the description. Please do sign up for as many as you want and come along and join me for that email list training on the 17th of January. So I hope that's been helpful, guys. I'm so excited to come back. Do check out my website as well because there's some new fancy pants branding. Well, not brand new branding, but I've kind of up-leveled my brand. That's what I've done. I have up-leveled my brand for 2024. So hopefully you guys like it. It feels a bit more me. It feels a bit more fun. It feels a bit more my vibe. So do check that out. And I will be back next week. I'm going to share a bit of a review of 2023, my 2024 plans, like a real behind the scenes look at what I'm planning for Wholeheartedly Laura in 2024. So please come along for that. And I will see you next week, guys. Take care. Bye.